And a pleasant welcome, everyone, to this edition of Augusta University men's basketball action. The Jaguars, with a record of 2-1, get ready to face a team from Catawba, also coming in with a 2-1 record. I'm the Mac Daddy, Charles McNeil. My broadcast partner, as always, is Chad Cook. And Chad, when you think about tonight's game, you think of champions, and it's always appropriate that when you talk about champions, you have rings, and tonight we've got a little bit of both.
That's right. A great matchup. You mentioned the 2-1 records coming in. Both defending conference champions, Augusta from the Peach Belt and Catawba from the South Atlantic Conference. Both teams are in the Southeast region, which feeds into the NCAA tournament, so they see each other in the regional tournament once they leave conference play. And they both fell last season in that NCAA tournament to the same opponent, Queens, the Southeast region champions. And on top of all that, head coach Dip Mitras of the Augusta Jaguars and head coach Rob Perrin of Catawba are old, longtime friends. So, like Coach Mitras said, this is the most talented team on our schedule to date. It might be the most talented team on our schedule all season. It's going to be a great one.
It should be a great one indeed. This is the 7th meeting between these two programs, and ironically, they're tied at 3 apiece through the first 6 meetings. So something's got to give. 2-1 records. When you look at the Jaguars, they have been explosive offensively, scoring better than 80 points in all 3 of their contests, and a team that is a force to be reckoned with. The opener didn't come out the way they wanted, a 88-82 loss at the hands of Mount Olive. But boy, did they bounce back in the final 2 contests versus Barton and Claflin. Claflin last Wednesday, they took care of business. 77-66 was the final score of that one. And Miguel Arnold really stepped up to do big things with 23 points in that one.
Yeah, Miguel Arnold has gotten better every game this season. He's the co-rookie of the year from last year. He's a sophomore. Only had 7 points in the first game, uncharacteristically bad shooting game for him, but he's gotten better ever since. 18 in the second game. You mentioned 23 in the third game, and he can fill it up, and so we expect more of that from him all season.
Yeah, 5 made threes in that contest, and when you go back to the first 2 games, it's Rafa, the guy that you count on from Brazil, who got it done, led the team in scoring, and was amongst the leaders in rebounding in all 3 contests.
Yeah, Rafael's the most consistent player for 2 years running on our team. Shot 59% from the field, 42% from the 3 last season, over 80%, I think 79% from the free throw line. He came out the first game, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 10 for 15 from the field. Had 4 assists as well in that game. Second game, 18 points. 6 of 10 from the field, and then follows it up with 17 points against Claflin. His skill level is through the roof. He gets it the hard way. Skill, shooting, footwork, not an explosive athlete, but he is as intelligent as they come both on and off the floor.
Yeah, and you need that intelligence in the Peach Belt Conference and against non-conference opponents from the SAC Conference as far as the defending champions in Catawba. They're a team that also likes to get up and down the floor, as they've been explosive, scoring 90 or better in 2 of their 3 games.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the keys to the game in a little while, but that's one of them. Is Coach Mitras made a point of saying the Jaguars have to value every possession on both offense and defense, because this is the most talented team that Augusta's played so far. And you mentioned the high scoring. Fell 95-90 in the opener to UNC Pembroke of the Peach Belt. We know them well. UNC Pembroke is probably the most talented team in the Peach Belt, and Catawba had a 10-point lead with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in that game and surrendered it and lost in overtime. So we know that they can play and that they have a lot of talent. Like I said earlier, defending SAC champions from a year ago, 2 champions going at it. As we know, Augusta's going to get their championship rings tonight. Catawba did theirs on Midnight Madness. So it's a heck of a matchup here.
Yeah, no question about it. Dip Mitras looking to make a little history in the next couple of games. Coach Mitras in the 16th season comes in with a record of 340 and 130, his overall mark, out of Belmont Abbey in 1988, the graduate. He's three wins away, only 3, Chad, from the illustrious one the guy who holds all the records around here, Marvin Vanover, just 3 wins away from tying him as the all-time leading coach in wins here at Augusta University.
Here at Augusta University, exactly. And I think I'm almost positive he entered the season with 473 overall. And, last year the team won 28 games, and that's hard to repeat. But if he can do something like that, he'll go over the 500 mark this season in his 25th season. And I'm not a math major, but 500 divided by 25 is 20. And when you can go a quarter of a century averaging 20 wins a game as a head coach in college basketball, man, you're doing something right. And that's why Coach Metris has so much respect. And that's something that Rob Perrin, the head coach of Catawba, wanted me to make a special point of saying when we talked before the game. He said, make sure that you voice my appreciation and admiration for Coach Metris as a coach. And I know from talking to Coach Metris, the feeling is mutual.
Well, that's great. When you got 2 coaching buddies, they get together. Of course, they'll probably celebrate with an ice cold soft drink after the game, but when they get between the lines, it's going to be a battle.
Yes. Another thing Coach Rob Perrin told me is, I think he referred to it as maybe some kind of coaching suicide when it comes to playing UNC Pembroke, Augusta University, and Francis Marion, all in the first 4 games, all on the road or all away from home. And the reason why that's so noteworthy is the Peach Belt was dominated by 4 teams last year, and those are 3 of the 4 teams. And they all spent time in the top 25, as did Catawba. And so he's really challenging. Coach Perrin is really challenging his team as we see Coach Dip Metris getting ready for the game.
Yeah, he's a guy that got a chance to visit with him at practice on yesterday. He spent a lot of time working on plays, specifically execution of plays, and wanting to get the ball in the low post, and also obviously trying to drill down to make sure they don't turn the basketball over. That's always a question in high school, college, or any level of basketball. Cut down on those turnovers, you got a solid chance of winning a basketball game, and nobody knows it better than Dip.
Yep. And that'll be a part of our keys to the game. Now, in a few minutes here, we're going to have a special ceremony.
Yeah, it's actually the ring ceremony. Looking forward to it. I haven't been sized up as yet, but hopefully that might happen after a few more seasons. We'll get a chance to get into that. But, you were an opportunity to play for the Jaguars back in the day. And during that time frame, you guys competed, like most Jaguar teams did, for titles. Mm-hmm. What is that experience like to win a title?
Well, I can't say that I felt it firsthand, but, I'm sorry. We're on the air. I'm sorry. Hey.
It's live television, right?
Live television, right? So, I've never experienced it firsthand. The closest I've gotten actually is last year, and we've got a special segment teed up because in 3 minutes we'll be honoring the team with their rings. And so we've got about a minute-long segment that shows Tyree Myers, sophomore point guard, who last year was a team-leading freshman point guard, getting a hoop and some harm in the Peach Belt Tournament Championship game against USC Aiken, and that iced the game. You'll see the celebration afterwards, and that will explain what it's like to win a conference tournament championship, if you ask me.
What I was going to say, now knowing you, though, you've coached some championship teams as well. Your young sons are playing basketball and sports. What does it feel like as a coach to win a title?
Well, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's see what it feels like for the Jags to do it first.
All right, let's take a look. That's how you win a championship, Chad, and they did it in very impressive fashion. You had to be thrilled to see that firsthand. I was here as well with you, and again, when we got a chance to see Dip cut down the nets, that made it that much more special.
I was thrilled, and you know what sticks out to me about that segment? 3 freshmen on the court, all 3 guards. We'll see tonight that taking care of the ball is paramount in this program, and Dick Mitras trusted 3 freshmen with that job last year, and they're all sophomores now, and that's part of the reason why everybody's so excited about this year's team. And speaking of excitement, if we have 20 seconds to show Dean Williams dunk from last year. Dean Williams, co-player of the year last year in the conference. He'll be getting his ring via satellite in a moment. And, I don't know if we have time, but if we do, that was about the most exciting play of the year last year.
Let's see if we can take a look.
So that's Dean driving baseline. That's against Georgia Southwestern. This was the last regular season home game, and Augusta trailed throughout the second half by double digits. Georgia Southwestern was actually the lowest, the worst team in the league, record-wise. And a loss here would have meant not hosting the Peach Belt tournament. And so not having that moment that we saw a second ago where the team clinched at home in front of thousands of, cheering fans. And the Peach Belt has 12 teams in it. So to win the Peach Belt, to host the Peach Belt tournament, to win the regular season conference title, and then host the tournament and win the tournament, it doesn't come along very often. This team has multiple banners. You can see them around the gym. And to be able to do it both regular season and conference tournament championship doesn't come along very often. I think we're going to watch the team get their rings now.
All right, it's that time. Time for the ring ceremony. We'll throw it down to the PA announcer, Jason Shearer.
So what we're looking at now is Dean Williams on the video board trying to accept his ring via Iceland, but the volume's not working.
Playing professional ball over there.
Yes, yes. Great camera shot of Dean. That's a sight we got used to last 4 years actually.
I was going to ask you what time of day is it in Iceland?
Yeah, it's I want to say it's the middle of the night for sure, middle of the morning, very early morning. Somewhere around 5, 6 a.m. is what I think I remember hearing.
Yes, they'll look at the ring as well. We get a chance to see him up close on the Jumbotron. It looks really good. It's got the logo, Augusta University logo, and kind of displayed there. Give a chance to really get a feel for what it's like to be holding a championship ring. Now, ring rust is always something that you see in the professional ranks. What do you expect tonight?
Well, yeah, I mean, last year I mentioned that game against Georgia Southwestern that we trailed throughout the second half, double digits, ended up coming back and winning. So the next time we played at home was the first round of the Peach Belt tournament against Columbus, 1 seed Augusta versus 8 seed Columbus. And, they did a regular season, I don't know, it wasn't a ring ceremony, but some kind of thing where the Peach Belt honored the team for winning the regular season title, and Columbus came out on a run. And so I don't think there's any way to go through a ceremony like that and not have your rhythm disrupted. At the most, you do it once a season, if you're lucky. So maybe I've never done it in my entire life, And so, I'd say all these guys, I guess some of them can harken back to that Columbus experience, but it's a tough thing. But it's also probably going to be a tough thing for Catawba.
Yeah, I played basketball in high school, Bergen School in Jersey City, New Jersey, point guard, but never got a chance to win a title. Of course, we were a private school team, very small. And then I played on got a chance to coach as well as play, basketball and other sports. And, the only title I've ever won was Babe Ruth baseball. I caught the final catch, the tag at home plate to stop the winning run from scoring to win a Babe Ruth title. And that was a great championship experience, except I got spiked in the knee.
Okay.
I wasn't able to carry it home. Now, when you think of the championship team, you can't be a champion without or continue to repeat as champions, as Augusta University has done in 2 of the last 3 years. They've been champions of the Peach Belt Conference. You can't do it without newcomers stepping up and making big things happen. Who's the new guy that you like to look at?
Well, there's no bigger impact player than 7-foot sophomore transfer from Georgia Southern, Tyshawn Crawford. It's not every day that you have a 7-footer in the Peach Belt Conference. There'll only be one of them out there tonight. There'll only be one of them in the entire league, and that's Tyshawn Crawford. So he's from Griffin, Georgia. He's a sophomore. He redshirted for a season at Georgia Southern, and then he played limited minutes last season as a freshman. Has transferred here. He's very good. We've got a clip of him catching the ball against Claflin and making a nice spin move and a dunk. We'll probably show that in a second. Tyshawn scored 10 points in his first outing in only 19 minutes. Scored 4 points in only 13 minutes the second outing. All that was tied up with foul trouble, being new to the system. This is a team of veterans. So he's working his way in. Now, the third game is when he was able to play extended minutes. That was against Claflin, the most recent game. Played 27 minutes. He was 7 of 9 from the field, scored 14 points, and we'll see probably in a little while 2 of those points and how impressive those were.
Yeah, let's see if we can take a look at that right now. Tyshawn Crawford.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an extended play, and you'll see here how Augusta's very patient. Even against pressure, they're not hurrying it. That's Miguel Arnold, sophomore, co-rookie of the year last year. He's going to set up the offense, and they're going to be patient enough to get Tyshawn the ball. And once he gets it, it's all over for the defense.
Left-handed player, but shows the ability to spin to his right and finish with flavor.
Yeah, Tyshawn's got a lot of game. He showed it there. He's not, when you get a 7-foot transfer at a Division II school, Peach Belt school, you wonder, can he play? And that's not the issue with Tyshawn, whether or not he can play. The only issue through 3 games that I can spot is, can he remain on the court? Can he stop from getting 2 fouls in the first several minutes? Can he stop from getting his 3rd foul early in the second half? can he stay on the floor is really the thing.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that, Chad, as I think back to you buried kind of the lead. Yes, he's 7 foot. Yes, he's going to be the only one in the conference. The guy is 290 pounds.
Well, and I thought it was actually closer to 310, but yes, he's a mountain of a man. It's not just every day that you see a guy 7 foot in the Peach Belt Conference. It's just see a 7-footer period. And so when you walk up to him and you shake his hand and you converse with him, he's a nice guy, a jovial, highly personable young man, and but you just can't shake the fact that this is a large man I'm talking to right now, and that's what Tyshawn is. Not just height, but weight, but he's got game. You saw it on that spin move. You're going to see it tonight. He's going to be out there. Now, he won't start. Leaf Lenore, and this is a good chance to talk about Lee, speaking of newcomers. Leaf Lenore out of South Miami High School, freshman, 6'7". He'll play center tonight. Starting, and Tyshawn will come off the bench. Now, Lee went to South Miami High School, which is Miguel's high school,
That's
Miguel
right.
Arnold's high school. And Lee, in the second game, sparked the team with big minutes, scored 12 points, grabbed 7 rebounds. 11 of the 12 points and 6 of the 7 rebounds came in a 10-minute stretch during the second half where the Jags went from down 3 to up 11. And Coach Dimitris gave him the chest bump of the game. After the game, he gives a chest bump to one player after every win away from home. And so Leaf Lenore got that. And then Lee turned around in the third game, the last game, the win against Claflin, and got 10 rebounds. So, it's not just Tyshawn that's new. It's Leaf Lenore. It's also Anthony Torelli out of Canada. He made a couple buckets against Barton that helped the team, and we're going to do starting lineups now.
And national anthem as well. This concludes the pregame coverage. It's game time, everybody. Hope you're excited about it, and we'll be bringing you the matchup of 2 2-1 teams. Of course, Catawba and Augusta University. But now it's time for our national anthem. And it's game time. 2-1 Augusta University taking on 2-1 Catawba. And now it's time for the keys to victory. Chad, who do you like in this one?
Well, let's talk about what Coach Dimitris thinks the teams need to do. Control the tempo with offense. Now, what that means for Augusta is get the ball inside. You won't see a lot of one-on-one, a lot of high pick and roll with the guard, creating off the dribble. You'll see a lot of teamwork, a lot of ball movement, and a lot of pounding it into the post to Rafael Montero, Tyshawn Crawford, and even Leaf Lenore. Now, the second play one-on-one within a team concept. Teams these days are explosive off the dribble. Catawba is loaded with scorers on the perimeter, so being able to guard one-on-one but also getting plenty of help from your teammates in the gaps will be key for Augusta. And then finally, value every possession. That goes back to the fact that Catawba is the most talented team Augusta has played yet, and they will have to value every possession to be able to get a win against a team like that. Now we're going to see the Jaguars get called out for starting lineups.
Tyree Myers, Miguel Arnold. Lenore getting his first start. Really excited. He's been the sixth man through the first few contests. Sharpshooter, guy that is a deadly three-point guy that, as Chad alluded to earlier, has gotten better in each and every contest, including the third game in which he knocked down 5 triples. He had 4 made threes in the prior game as Augusta University regains the court for the first time in 6 days. Looking forward to this contest. Of course, Rafael Montero leads the team out in scoring on the season as he has been electric.
Now I want to...
So we heard from Coach's keys. What are your keys?
Well, I can't do better than Coach Mitris. I do want to share Coach Rob Perrin's keys. Standard things all coaches stress: play good defense, control the boards, and limit turnovers. Now, I do want to say Lee, it's actually his second game starting, Lee Flanor.
Okay.
So, and he did start out as the sixth man in the first 2 games.
Of course, first home start.
Yep.
So this is the home opener for the 2019-2020 edition of your defending Peach Belt Conference champions, and time to jump it up. It's Flanor jumping tip against DJ Johnson. They might have to re-jump that one. Tip is controlled by Catawba. They're in their blue uniforms with the white trim. Augusta in their whites with blue trim. Again, this is the 7th meeting all time between these two programs. Deadlocked at 3 apiece as Cracknell catches on the wing. Outside jump shot in the air by Myers. Back iron, no good.
And you see Lee Flanor, the freshman, making his presence known on the first defensive possession. Blocked a shot and got the rebound. Now he'll be tested again.
Off-balance shot put up by number 4. That's Devin Cooper.
Cooper's the leading scorer so far this season for Catawba. He's a returner. The Catawba went 10 deep last year with what Coach Perrin likes to call 10 starters. 5 of them returned, so they return plenty just like the Jaguars do.
Nice dump down. The freshman. Off-balance scoop is good. Hook shot from about 6 feet out. He knocks it down for the first basket of the ball game.
There's an example of getting the ball inside like Coach Mitris wanted to. And another example of guarding, we talked about guarding one-on-one within a team concept. You'll see Rafael Montero here slide his feet, get set, pretty much get set, gets the benefit of the doubt on the call.
Worthy of a Maxwell Performing Arts Center theater performance. This Catawba team aggressive on the defensive side. There's Arnold for 3.
Okay. Yeah, Rafael knew that one. He pushed the, I guess that was number 23, Daquan Lilly, who he pushed in the back there to get that rebound. So he gets the benefit of the doubt on one end and kind of gets a little bit of a karma maybe on the other end. Although that charge that he took could have very well been the right call.
Dribble drive. Now out for a wide open 3. Actually, it's a 2 ball. Nope, they wind up calling 3 as he knocks it down from distance.
It's Daquan Lilly, he's a returner as well. I think.
So the score should be 3-2 unless they're going to take a look at that one later on. There's a steal. Ball deflected and stolen by Flanor.
So back-to-back turnovers, one by the Jags and one by Catawba. Both coaches want to limit those turnovers as much as possible.
Montero.
I saw Rafael Montero in here, just like I always do. If I come here at about 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 9 a.m., you always see Rafael in the gym practicing just that shot.
He's got those late classes as countering back is Catawba. That's Lilly again.
Now Lilly's off to a good start. I've got him at 6 points and 6 rebounds per game through 3 games, and he's already knocked down a pair of jumpers. Looks to be a very dangerous threat for Catawba.
Yeah, scoring inside and outside. Now the dribble drive, taking it hard to the rack, lay it off the glass, and it's good. That's Tyree Myers. Right back the other way. Ball deflected around and pulled in by Miguel with those strong biceps. And there he is for an open 3 ball.
Catawba's got numbers here after Rafael Montero went to the floor, but he got back quickly.
Shot no good. There's Flanor again.
What a play by Flanor. If we get a chance to run that back later, he helped stop the ball, forced a jumper, and then got back in position to block out and rebound. The freshman's really playing well early here.
Yeah, and he's working against a senior in this one, Chad, so speaks volumes for what he's doing out there. There's Montero.
Well, you see it on one block, you see it on the other. Catching it in that mid-post area, squaring up and hitting that tough little shot. Like I said, I saw him working on it this week. I asked him, I said, now I see why you make all these shots that I would call tough shots, because you work on them. And he said, yep, I work on them every day. And that's what he's known for, his incredible work ethic.
Beautiful spin move and then the follow.
So Lilly's he's on his way to he's probably at a season high already, possibly, but he's really playing well early for Catawba.
Montero, that's automatic.
Speaking of playing well, he's scoring every which way. And he's got those 6 points on 3 field goal attempts, all on passes into the post. That was a key to the game from Coach Dimitris. Control tempo through our offense, which means get the ball inside.
Explosive move, but not able to cash in close. That was McLeod.
Wow.
And then Tyree Myers getting aggressive.
Tyree's so crafty. We saw it in the play that we ran before the game, as we see a replay here. We're going to go to TV timeout in a second, but here's Tyree, so crafty off the dribble. We saw it in that clip before the game, in the championship game of the conference tournament last year. Just reading the defense, gets a little bit of a mismatch with the bigger player and makes him pay for it. You know, he scored that bucket earlier on the baseline using his body. Tyree's not a speed demon of a point guard. He's a strong point guard with an elite handle. And a lot of people don't really understand how he gets what he gets. But in my opinion, he does it with that strength, with that ball handling, and the fact that he can really shoot the ball. Shot over 44% from the three-point line last year.
We talked about the championship season. 19 wins against 3 defeats, 28-6 overall. Do you see that type of game in the 2019-20 version of the Jaguars?
I do. You know, it's the kind of thing that you can't expect, because it takes so much to win a conference like the Peach Belt with 12 very good teams in it in the regular season, and then in the conference tournament like the team did last year. So to do it again is almost something that you really can't expect. But it is a team that's capable of doing it. You've got everybody back except for 3 key seniors from last year, but the 5-6 guys who really made a difference last year are all a year older and a year better. And then you have impact newcomers like Tyshawn Crawford, like Lee Flanor. Now we see subs in the game. Speaking of Tyshawn Crawford, number 0. The sophomore, 7-foot sophomore transfer. We don't see him in the shot now, but he's back in the backcourt. So he's in the game, and also Robert Barland, an inside player. He's a sophomore, and he's checked in the game too. Now you see Tyshawn, you see the back of Tyshawn, number 0, the 7-foot sophomore, has entered the game.
Yeah, he was like the moon in front of the sun a few moments ago in our shot when he first walked on the floor.
Yeah, you see him right there standing by Daquan Lilly, making him look like a small guard.
Mountain of a man, just watch the dunk fly over top of him. Good job by Larry McLeod. 6'6", 195-pounder, went up, and away on him. Cut the deficit to 3. 14-16 left to go. And there's Crawford with his first shot.
And that's what I mean by Tyshawn Crawford has game. Now, they're going to test him on the defensive end. He's guarding Daquan Lilly, who's been on fire. We'll see if he can hold his own. But, yeah, you know, I guess we're going to get a foul on number 3, Larry McLeod, when Miguel Arnold got that retrieved that turnover for Augusta. But we see, you know, not the greatest pass, able to get it, good hands. That's what I mean by he's got game. And then it's all she wrote if he can make that jump hook. And I've seen him make it repeatedly throughout the preseason in the first few games. So if they can get the ball in his hands, it's not an automatic 2, but it's as close as you can get to that. We'll see if he can convert again.
Gets it deep, left hand again. This time no good. Pushed out just a little bit from his normal spot. And back comes Catawba. The Indians with the basketball for 3. Yes. Putting that one in the hole. Number 40 off the bench. That's Malik Constantine. The lead is down to 2. And there it is. Crawford in the low post. Looks to go reversal. I think he traveled. Extremely patient is the big fella.
So that's 3 times down the court for Crawford, and he's touched the ball 3 times. I know Coach Mitras likes that. Any Jags fan would. Now, he didn't convert here, but good things are going to happen if he gets the ball close to the basket.
Yeah, you might want him to get just a little bit more aggressive on that catch.
Now, we have a problem with the score. It says 14-1 on the screen. It's actually 14-12. I'm sure they're going to fix that as soon as possible.
Right back the other way is Catawba. The Indians knocking it down. We'll keep you updated on the score as we go along, Chad, as I had a few moments ago.
Yep. We've got it fixed now, so it's 14-14.
Marcel Hackett as Darren Lucas White on the delivery. And here we are with another replay. And he went over the back clearly. Didn't touch the player, but certainly just that wingspan makes the officials feel as if he had to draw contact to get the ball that clearly.
So that's 1 foul on Crawford. If he gets another one, he'll sit out for the rest of the half. That's standard for Coach Mitras.
3-point attempt, a whistle, and a foul against the Jaguars.
Yeah, Coach Mitras said a couple times there, that's a flop. And so, you got the 3-pointer, step back 3-pointer. It's hard for Darren Lucas White to hold his ground and not lunge at that. We've got Marcel Haskett going to the line for, is it 3 or 2? Is his foot on the line? We'll see what the referee signals here. Okay, yeah, it's going to be 3.
Good on 2 of the 3 to give Catawba their first lead. Bracknell in the lineup.
I'm surprised that ball didn't go to Rafael Montero, and he's got his hands out kind of like, I'm not understanding why that ball didn't come to me.
Long 3-point attempt. Another one knocked down by Constantine. Out of Binghamton in New York.
Constantine's made a couple threes here. He's 3 for 5 coming into the game from distance. So we see Montero getting the ball there. The last possession, Troy Cracknell had Montero in the post, didn't go to him. I know Coach Metras probably reiterated to him the game plan and made sure to get it to him the next time.
All right, so we had our first TV or media timeout. Now we've got our second one. What did you see between the first and the second one that gave Catawba the lead?
Well, you know, Tyshawn Crawford entered the game, 7-footer. The very first thing we saw was a clean, open dunk by number 3, Larry McLeod. Tyshawn was helping on that play. So, you know, it's a fine line when you're that big and slower of foot than other players. So you'll see him help if this is the play. We'll see him help here. And then does he get back? Or it's actually not his man, but he's just not quite quick enough to get to it. And then a couple threes by Malik Constantine. Now, is that because Tyshawn is, not as fast of feet? You know, that's actually Raphael's man, so that's not on Tyshawn. But, you know, 2 threes by Malik Constantine, a clean dunk by Larry McLeod. That's basically what happened to turn a 14-9 lead into a 19-14 deficit with Catawba out in front of Augusta.
Yeah, Barloon stepped back away from that shooter on that third made basket as they were on an 8-0 run, and turning around and knocking it down is Rafael Montero.
You know, and it's a tricky thing. So I kind of targeted Tyshawn defensively, and it wasn't fair. But as we see Rafael making this move, this puts him 4 for 4, going to the line to try to get his 9th point on 4 field goal attempts. So the other thing that happened while Tyshawn was in is we force-fed him the ball. Nothing wrong with that. That's the strategy. But, you know, while we force-feed Tyshawn the ball, we don't force-feed Rafael the ball. So now Tyshawn goes back out. Rafael gets his second touch in a row, gets 3 points out of it. So it's a fine line when you have, as we see Malik Constantine get another tough bucket. It's a fine line integrating a new player who's got as much potential as Tyshawn into this offense. You've got a team that's somewhat of a well-oiled machine coming off a championship. As you see Tyree Myers hit Troy Cracknell, and there's the freshman again making another impact.
Lenore, he has been impressive, and he was the first practice. We got a chance to see him back about 4 weeks ago. He showed signs of some athleticism and a guy who was quick to learn the teachings of Dip Metras. Right back is Catawba. We understand why they won their conference title last season. They've got some athletes knocking down shots, including that one by Haskett.
Yeah, it's a tough group. Haskett comes in averaging 16 points. He's made 6 out of 14 threes through 3 games. So players everywhere at Catawba.
Good pass. The pick and roll to perfection.
Thought Raphael got bumped on that one too, so that's 11 points. 11 of the 21 points for Augusta coming from Rafael Montero as we see Haskett score again. You see a lot more one-on-one play out of Catawba than you see from Augusta. From Augusta, you see the ball entering the low post, as we see right there, and an and one for the freshman.
He's comfortable. He's confident. He's determined to make an impact in his home debut. Second start of the season.
So Leaf Lenore's man's playing in front, the age-old thing. If a guy's playing in front in the low post, you enter it to the high post. That leaves the man stuck on the high side. Rafael Montero throws it over the top for the bucket.
So lead is just 2 for the visiting Indians.
Now I expect to see Catawba. Look, everybody's out on the perimeter. Everybody's a threat, especially Haskett, who has the ball now.
Throws up the lob, and it's off Constantine. And I'll say no. Last touch by Lenore.
See, Augusta plays 2 traditional big men at all times, and a lot of teams play 5 guards or 5 perimeter-oriented players, and that's what I see from Catawba right now. 5 guys who can get it on the perimeter off the bounce with the long-range jumper, and so guys like Rafael Montero and Leaf Lenore have to guard that action, and so that's what's at play right now as we see Augusta's best defender guarding Haskett.
Haskett on the turn and face and dip.
Yeah, Dip's furious. If we can get that back on replay, what he's furious about is Marcel Haskett bumps Darren Lucas White on the back end, puts his shoulder into his chest, knocks him back, and then fades away. So he wants an offensive foul. Now what Darren did for the second time this half is contest the jumper to the point where he fouled the jump shooter. And we know from watching games on TV, whether it be NBA or college or whatever, if you get too close to that shooter and you make any contact with him whatsoever, if you touch him in any way, whether he's releasing the ball or whether he's already released the ball or whether he's landing, that's going to get called. It's become, in my opinion, the most called foul in basketball and the most frustratingly called foul in basketball, if you ask me.
After contact, they see it's almost like the pass interference penalty.
So Montero gets it way out, almost near the three-point line. This is where he likes to work, this jump hook. Beautiful. Oh, my goodness. That's a rough call there. Now, one thing Demetrius always says is he needs Rafael Montero to keep his cool, and so it'll be incumbent on him to do that there. He does not. I don't think he travels here. Let's see. Works his way all the way to the other side of the court. Yeah, he actually did travel. He actually did. Okay, so now we see Tyshawn Crawford up in this high pick and roll. See if he has to guard a ball handler on the switch. Good job by Darren Lucas White. Lucas White's the best defender on Augusta's team.
That one rattles out. Long rebound. Pulled in by Catawba, and there's a steal by the young fella. Hit ahead. Driving layup is good. Explosive move by Darren Lucas White, the sophomore from Capitol Heights, Maryland, as he has put this one within reach.
See, here's Crawford in that screen and roll. Can he guard Lilly? That'll be the question here. Does a good job there.
Open three, rebounded by Crawford. And now they're breaking. Pulling up. Back iron. Almost a foul over the top again for Crawford. Explosive move to the basket, but he left something behind. Ball looked like it might have deflected off his foot as he was headed out of bounds.
Sure seemed that way. Let's see if we get a replay here. Looks like we're gonna go to media timeout here. Let's see who this ball went off of.
Looks like it was Crawford.
Let's see a better angle here. You know, that's one of those that I can't call. You know?
Here it is one more time.
That's when you
just
don't
look to see if it goes off Crawford after it's deflected. Crawford or the ball handler. It changes direction. Did you notice it changed direction there?
I did. But you know, live, that's when you don't want to be a referee. You know, hats off to the referees for making those calls. You know, we're watching it in slow motion from various angles and can't quite get a read on it. So hats off to those guys. You see a shot of Demetrius there. He is not happy. He's still mad about that call when Haskett bumped Darren Lucas White twice on that back end.
So 1 point game. We get a chance to recap the season thus far for the Jaguars. Began on the 8th, a week ago Friday, with a setback at the hands of Mount Olive, that in Wilson, North Carolina. And bouncing back after that contest with 2 victories, 88-85 versus Barton, and then 77-66 a week ago Wednesday at Claflin. So these two defending champions, 2-1 records in the early going, and another knockdown jump shot from the perimeter. Daquan Lilly
basketball has changed so much. You get a guy like Crawford out there, so they take their center, their tallest guy, and put him in isolation. He makes an 18-footer over the outstretched arms of a 7-footer. We might want to get that on replay. The next dead ball. Very impressive by Daquan Lilly.
Taking guys off the dribble is always a good thing, except for when they're wearing the dark uniforms. Crossover dribble. Now the elevation. And it's taken away.
What a great play by Darren Lucas White. Yeah, here's Daquan Lilly. You know, this is a center. He's not a center, but he's their tallest player. That's a tough shot, especially over a 7-footer, especially for a guy who plays, whether it be the 3, the 4, or the 5 for Catawba. Is that going to be the 3rd foul on Darren Lucas White? Yeah, that'll be 3 on Darren. Usually Coach Mitras does not leave a guy in with 2, so he trusted Darren on that one. Darren picks up his 3rd foul. Oh, that was a travel.
That was small change, nickel dimer right there.
Yeah, it sure was. That's the thing. If a guy jumps up to shoot the ball and you move, so much as move within 75 feet of that player, it's going to be a foul. I mean, I can't stress enough how frustrating it is to see those fouls. I know referees and rule makers are trying to watch out for the ankles of shooters, but I think this pendulum has swung a little too far when it comes to protecting them.
So now the press, 3/4 court variety, they back out of it. The Jaguars break it with ease. Now they dump it down to the big guy. They found he's going left, so he turns back right, gets his own. Second try in close, can't make it work. 3rd try, up no good by Montero. A whistle.
Yeah. Crawford wants a foul. I know Mitras wants a foul. Crawford was fouled multiple times. That's the trick with a big guy. We used to deal with this with Garrett Seiler. When he's so big, referees kind of take the attitude, oh, come on, big man, play ball. You know, if you foul a 6'6" guy like this, they give him the foul. You foul a 7-footer like this, they don't. And that's just, it's hard to referee a guy who's that much bigger than his competition. As we see Montero. Now, what we're looking at now from Augusta, I think that's point number 12 for Raphael. I don't think he's missed a field goal yet. I don't think he's missed a free throw yet. And so we're looking at roughly half of the points being scored by one player. And where we would look for contributions, Troy Cracknell yet to make a field goal. He shot over 47% from the 3 last year. Miguel Arnold yet to make a field goal. He was our leading scorer last game. He was a 12 points per game scorer last year, shot 46% from the 3. Tyree Myers, others. So Augusta's going to have to get some help for Rafael Montero in the form of some of those names I just mentioned.
So another 3 ball. Short as Crawford snatches the rebound.
So they're really testing Tyshawn on the perimeter. He's doing a good job holding his own.
Augusta had the early lead with a chance now to regain that lead. Near the 5-minute mark. And there it is from distance.
Dialed it up, so they go, just according to the game plan, they go to Rafael Montero in the post. A double team comes, which leaves maybe the best shooter in the Peach Belt Conference wide open. That's called playing to your strengths.
And right back, another 3 ball.
Yeah, that's Devin Cooper, their leading scorer. He's averaging 22 points per game. He's 7 out of 15 from the 3 line in the first 3 games. Catawba's an impressive group.
Yeah, Cooper out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Transfer from Radford, and there's a steal. Layup is short of the mark and rebounded and pulled out of there by Cracknell.
It's a great hustle play by Troy Cracknell. Didn't give up on the play.
There's the big guy in the post. Back the other way. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Daquan Lilly.
So that's Tyshawn Crawford having a wide open dunk and just not being able to get back down the floor and pick up his man. Now, his teammates could have helped him. So it's a team effort. And, he just got beat by the quicker player running the court there.
There he is again. Arnold didn't want to go with the pick and roll. Decided to come cross court. Ball deflected out of bounds. It'll be Augusta University basketball as we look at the replay.
I think let's get back to the play because I think we're going to see. Yeah, that's a great little look and a finish by Tyshawn Crawford. You'll see. Maybe we'll get that one, the run back in a second, but 9 seconds on the shot clock here. I thought we were going to see Rafael Montero catch the ball around the free throw line, but I was mistaken there.
Spin move. And there's Arnold heating up right at the buzzer.
Tyree Myers is such a joy to play with. He sets his partner up for the wide open three. So 2 times in a row, or 2 times in the last 3 possessions, Miguel Arnold's had a catch and shoot 3 in rhythm with no hand in his face, and neither one of them has touched the rim.
So Arnold already has had 1 game with 4 made threes and another one 5 as they come right back and put the biscuit in the basket.
That's another tough one. You know, these guys are so good, and they're getting the benefit of the doubt on these long twos. Let's see if Tyree Myers actually touches him here.
Yeah, his contact.
Kind of that James Harden type of situation where you throw your body in there and then flail about.
But the free throw rattles out.
What a game. 36-35, a little over 4 minutes to go.
Catawba on the season shooting 77% from the charity stripe. Augusta on the season right at 68%. The Indians on the drive, high off the window. An easy rebound for Crawford. And we're running. Arnold, heat check, and it's good.
You know, it just shows how good these guys are. A guy like Miguel Arnold, if he gets a clean look, he's 3 for 3 on it. Now, he's missed a couple, and those weren't clean looks. But, man, Tyree Myers sets him up 2 times in a row with a clean shot. Rafael Montero set him up before that. 3 for 3, and the Jags are on their way.
Lilly into the corner. Front iron, rebounded, and then deflected out of bounds off Cracknell. We've got the under 4-minute timeout.
Demetrius is livid. He's standing outside of the huddle. He wants to stare at the referee for a little while.
It felt like there was contact on that rebound that forced the ball to go out of bounds.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we could get it, but if we could get that dunk from Crawford and then the sprint back by Daquan Lilly, kind of encompasses what Tyshawn brings to the floor. You know, we have look at this crew we have. They dial it right up. And so we'll see Tyree Myers. He'll create just a heads-up pass, basically. So Lilly's got a head start on him. He's already at the three-point line. He sprints the court. Tyshawn's running, and what he needs is for his teammates to help him there. But
it goes back to talking. Again, basketball is about communication. So if you're underneath the basket, you got to tell your guys, look, I need you to get back, get my man.
Yeah, see, there's a reason he's open, because his man doesn't bother to get back. Now his man has an advantage. Troy Cracknell could help Tyshawn out, and he really doesn't.
Right.
And that's where the
right.
the breakdown occurs.
He moved to the side where his man defensively was coming up the floor. While he might have been guarded by Lilly on that side in that zone setup, conversely, on the other side, he was going to his man and didn't think about the defensive movement and balance on the floor.
Yeah,
so Catawba with the basketball, trailing by 2.
So
3 minutes exactly left on the clock.
Augusta comes out in a zone on baseline out of bounds. We'll see that all season long from the Jaguars. 2-3 zone on baseline out of bounds.
There it is in the low post, and he left something else behind.
I got to believe he was wondering if Tyshawn Crawford was going to contest him there. He didn't, but he missed the layup, and I think that's what a 7-footer brings to the table.
Jeffrey Prophet with that attempt. And that one drops home with a friendly roll on the road.
Daquan Lilly's feeling it.
There's nearly a steal. Augusta University preseason rated number 13 in all the land.
Augusta, the highest ranked team in the Peach Belt Conference. 2 teams from the South Atlantic Conference, which is Catawba's conference, were in the top 25. That was Queens and Lincoln Memorial, both in the top 10. Catawba received votes but didn't quite make the list.
Crawford waiting for the rebound, couldn't get there. Nice move by Myers. Back the other way, Daquan kicks it out on the wing. There's a wide open 3, and he buries it.
Terrence Whitfield comes into the game averaging 4 points, 1 for 6 from the 3. Never fear, he drops that one.
No basket.
Coach Mitras wants the bucket to count. You've got a foul. Rafael Montero was fouled setting the screen for Troy. You see it here. He gets fouled kind of like a charge type of situation. And Troy catches and shoots, I guess, right after that foul. I think it's probably a good call by the referee here.
Yeah, the foul occurs right there.
So at halftime, I'll go down and interview either Coach Mitras or Coach Armstrong, the assistant coach, O'Neal Armstrong, and then after that, you'll run through the stats, and I think we'll find that Rafael Montero is perfect from the field and perfect from the foul line.
Well, Montero's having a tremendous year at the charity stripe. He's only missed 1 free throw all season long and knocked down many. Came in 10 of 11 to start the season. Backdoor feed. Extra step, he misses it. That's Constantine. Out on the wing, finds his teammate. There's a bump, and the ball goes out of bounds. It's a cheerleader's assist. Constantine on the kick out to Whitfield. Double teamed. And then he just went falling to the floor. Jaguar fans wanted the ball going the other way as there's another 3 ball. Constantine with the rebound out to the wing. And that one drops. So Whitfield coming through, 6'4", sophomore from Chesterfield, Virginia. As we near the 1-minute mark. Arnold drove into traffic, got it stolen away by Constantine. Here come the Indians, leading by 4. Looking for their largest lead of the first half. On the drive, Crawford commits the foul. So Whitfield headed to the line. 2 for 2 on the season. Averaging nearly 4 points a game. Lenore defensively for the Jaguars. Offensive foul was registered against the Indians. Here's the replay. A spin move, the freshman defensively. And there's Arnold sliding right in there. Freshman player of the year in the Peach Belt Conference, learning a little bit of defensive skills in the 2nd season. Great anticipation on that one. And there's Montero, first basket in a while. It was apropos. He scores inside the final 20 seconds to cut the lead to 2. So we've got a barn burner here in the first half as a timeout on the floor with Augusta University trailing Catawba 44-42. In case you missed our pregame show, The ring ceremony was one of the outstanding things that happened during the process, as all of the members of the 2018-19 Jaguars team that won the Peach Belt and advanced in the NCAA tournament received their championship rings, and it was a big smile had by all of them, including players from as far away as Iceland. Got a chance to be a part of this celebration. Gene Williams joined us. He was the tied for the Peach Belt Conference Co-Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and First Team honors, playing professionally overseas. He joined us by satellite. Seven seconds remaining in the half. Shot attempt up, no good. Tipped up at the buzzer. They say count it, and that's the way we'll go to the break. So it's halftime here at Christenberry Fieldhouse. Campus, the athletic campus of Augusta University. Our halftime score, Augusta University trailing 46-42.
Okay, Coach, you said you wanted to control the tempo through the shots you get on offense by pounding the ball inside. Are you pleased with that so far?
No, we've taken 4 ill-advised quick jump shots. We got to do better at that. We got to rebound the ball. I mean, they're taking some tough shots. I'm glad you got video up there because every time they fall, it seems to be a call, okay? So we've got to play through all that. We got to play a little stronger around the basket.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating, the call. The fouls on jump shooters, I can tell you're upset about
No,
that.
absolutely. We shouldn't do that. Guy kicks his leg out, old school trick. And we got to just do a better job. If we do a better job of getting the ball inside and control the missed shots, the few possessions we stop them, they've got the offensive rebound, like the last possession of the half. So we'll get back to the second half and see what we can do.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
So much, Chad. Thank you so much for that. Dip Metris as he heads over to the locker room. Our Chad Cook will be making his way back up here with some stats for us, and we'll give you a complete look at what happened in the first 20 minutes of action. Suffice it to say, it has been a back-and-forth affair. Augusta University jumping out to an early 4-0 lead, and back came Catawba to take the lead, and it's been a seesaw affair from there. Let's check out some of the highlights. Rafael Montero looking to set up Tyree Myers. And Myers on the dribble drive. And the impressive finish helped the Jaguars jump out to that early start. So, I mean, one of the things that you love about this Jaguar team is they will not give up. There's Crawford, who started on the road. Got a chance to come off the bench in this one. Started the first 2 games of the season. Came off the bench in this one as they worked the ball to him. He's asking for it. The sophomore rather, from Georgia Southern to transfer. Got in the low post, turned around, and finished at the rim. There you see Crawford sending a pick. And Myers holding on to his dribble, left hand. Hit Miguel Arnold. And Arnold, nothing but the bottom of the net. So the Jaguars doing it impressively in that first half as they've been able to keep it close at 46-42. Again, this is the 7th meeting of these two teams all time, with the series tied at 3 apiece. So again, every time they face one another, it's highly competitive, and tonight is no different. The crowd has thoroughly enjoyed it thus far, and I know they're excited about what's to come in the remaining 20 minutes of action. First home game, the ring ceremony, and thus far no ring rust, as they like to say. So let's take a break, and we come back, we'll have hopefully some statistics from the first half and take a closer look, get Chad's observations and a thought about the second half of this one. This is exclusive coverage of Jaguar basketball. And welcome back inside the Christenberry Fieldhouse. Mac Daddy and Chad Cook back together again. We did the girls contest on Saturday as Coach Green and the ladies fell, unfortunately, in a highly contested contest. And in this one, it's been a barn burner from the start, Chad. The Jaguars trailing at half by a score of 46-42. Let's talk a little bit about your thoughts in the first half. What did you like and some of the things maybe you didn't like as much?
Well, you know, when it comes to Augusta University, the performance by Rafael Montero is nothing short of spectacular. You got 6 for 6 from the field, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, a perfect evening from the senior leader. He's got 17 points. You see him here, got bumped on this one, didn't get the foul call. But, you know, he's just absolutely been perfect, and these aren't easy shots he's making. You see here, drives hard right, spins, gets a little bit of contact, and one. 5 for 5 from the free throw line, along with the 6 for 6 from the field. And that's been par for the course for him this season. And what you got to wonder about from Augusta is, can he keep something like that up? You see him scoring here. Several of his buckets some of his opportunities have come from very good passes like that from Tyree Myers. You see Troy Cracknell feeding the post. I think you heard Coach Mitras at halftime not actually pleased with the amount of times the ball is going into the post. He thinks the team took several ill-advised jump shots. He's got high standards for the guys, and that's why it's a championship team. But you see here, a little inside pivot. This is such a tough shot right here, and he makes it right in the face of Catawba's Daquan Lilly. So it's been all Rafael Montero, and that's the question. In the second half, is there going to be, you know, 2 or 3 more Jaguars step up? I talked to Coach Clint Bryant, my old basketball coach here at Augusta University, the longtime athletic director. Talked to him after talking to Coach Mitras, and I said, Coach, these guys are good. And he said, they sure are. We talked about that for a little while. And then I said, you know, we need somebody to help Rafael. He said, yeah, you know, we got a couple buckets from Miguel, but we're going to have to get something from Troy Cracknell, small forward, good shooter, shot close to 50% from the 3 last year. We're going to need to get something maybe from Darren Lucas White, Tyree Myers. We got good contributions, 3 for 3 from the field from Leaf Lenore. I think we'll see that he also contributed rebounding the ball as well. Let's see here, 3 rebounds for the freshman now. For the freshman. Now you see there Miguel Myers making one of his 3 3-pointers in a row in the first half. You're going to see him making one here on a feed from Tyree Myers. See here, draws his man, gets his partner Miguel Arnold a clean look, and that's nothing but net when Miguel gets the ball. We'll see him probably one more time here. Now you see, once you establish the post, you get a double. That's a great job by our crew. If we saw that one more time, I could even add a little more color to that. I think we are going to see it. So what you'll see is Tyshawn Crawford's man come to help, and then Miguel's man has to help on Tyshawn Crawford, and that's why Miguel Arnold, the best shooter in the Peach Belt Conference, is left wide open for a 3-pointer. So Dick Mitras talked about controlling the tempo through their offense by going into the post. This is a great example of getting exactly what you want to get, your best shooter, a wide open shot by working inside out. And, you know, the offense, even though it's mainly a Rafael Montero story here in the first half, the offense has been efficient. Defense is the other end, and it hasn't been poor. I think it's 2 things when you talk about defensively. What are their shooting numbers, first of all? Okay, so you're pointing out the rebounds. So Catawba out-rebounded Augusta 20-15. But if we look at Catawba's shooting numbers, 18 for 37 from the field, one under. As we see, Augusta shooting 57% from the field. But Catawba shooting 18 of 37 from the field, and the shots that they're getting are tough shots. We see one here, step back 3 in the deep corner. Leading scorer, Devin Cooper, knocking that one down. Here's Daquan Lilly, a 4/5 man, you know, leading the break, penetrating, kicking, finding a shooter. a shooter off the bench who didn't play many minutes the first half. He's comfortable knocking down the three-pointer. So this is just, when it comes to defense, the fact that they're shooting 18 for 37, one shot under 50% with the degree of difficulty on their shots, and then 6 for 12 from the three-point line, what all that adds up to is Augusta's playing a heck of a team in Catawba, and they're going to be difficult to stop. Coach Mitras wasn't pleased with the foul calls, so I know he's thinking, hey, these guys are tough enough to stop as it is, but if we have to worry about the fouls on deep jumpers, then that makes it even harder. So we'll see probably a little more of Catawba here. This is that clean dunk they got. It's just good action. I mentioned that talking to Coach Bryant at halftime. He talked about how these guys really play together. They're well coached, and I echo his sentiment exactly.
All right, let's go ahead and look at some of the individual numbers. The Catawba team, they have been led by Daquan Lilly with 11 points. He had 2 rebounds in the contest and assists as well. And 3 guys with 8 points in that opening half for the Indians, including Marcel Haskett. Joining him was Terrence Whitfield and Malik Constantine. All of those guys with 8 in the first half of action. No real foul difficulty for Catawba. They've got 2 guys with 2 fouls, McLeod, and he saw limited action, and Constantine with 2 for Augusta. They were paced, as you mentioned, by Rafael Montero with 17 points and 3 rebounds, tied for second in the rebounding era to Tyshawn Crawford, who had 6 rebounds. He had 4 points as well on 2 of 5 shooting. Montero, as you mentioned, 6 of 6 and 5 of 5 from the field goal land and free throw line. And joining him was Flanor to help with that hot shooting, 3 for 3 from the field, 0 for 1 from the charity stripe. Augusta was 7 of 8 from the foul line in the ball game, out-rebounded 20-15, and that's huge. If you're down by 4, you get a couple of more boards. That means either an additional shot at the rim or an opportunity to get your break going. Those second chance opportunities for Catawba, they cashed in on. As we're ready to begin the second half of play. From the Christenberry Fieldhouse, the battle of defending champions from the SAC and from the Peach Belt. And the Peach Belt Conference defending champs have the ball first, Augusta University.
Now this ball will go into the post on the first play. I'm almost certain of it.
Cracknell out there in the starting lineup to begin the second half. Along with Montero, Flanor, Arnold, and Myers. Into the post. The freshman can't make it. Rebounded by Myers. And now make that Arnold off to Myers, and Myers on the drive can't make it work. Now a third try, and that's that rebounding we talked about, and it cashes in for the Jaguars.
Wow, he's so active. Lee Flanor is so active. What a great find he has been.
And back the other way, the young man who had the acrobatic dunk in the first half scoring. And that would be number 3, McLeod.
You can't blame that transition basket from Catawba on Tyshawn Crawford. Twice at least today, Catawba's gotten a bucket in transition after a made Augusta basket.
They move the ball up the floor like the old Phoenix Suns. Arnold can't find the range. Good switch by Arnold. Lilly. Shot clock winding down. Lilly on the turn.
Lilly's been unstoppable. So what you had there was Daquan Lilly setting a screen for the ball handler and then popping and getting the ball and just going to work one-on-one. I expect to see a lot more of that in the second half. I think Coach Rob Perrin has found something he likes offensively.
Lilly now with 13 points.
There's the first post touch of the second half for Augusta.
There's Lilly and Montero. Lenore over the top. Call for the offensive foul.
It's the kind of foul that a coach loves to have, quite honestly. You got a guy working to get an extra shot for his team. Leaf Lenore trying to impact the game in any way he can. See if we see Daquan Lilly setting a screen for the ball handler. Right now it's McLeod.
Here's the lob. Caught it but couldn't finish at the rim. Tried to go reversal.
He must not have had a clean catch on that because he sure looked like he was high enough to throw that down. You know, the one thing that Catawba didn't do well in the first half is make free throws. 4 for 9 in the first half, so they start off well in the second half with a couple makes from McLeod.
McLeod knocking it down from the charity stripe. The junior from Sanford, North Carolina. Went to Bull City Prep. Arkansas State transfer. His team full of transfers. They work the outside shooting game and knocking it down. Cracknell, and just like you said it, you wanted to see some shooting by Cracknell. Somebody other than Montero helping out.
Yeah, it's just what the doctor ordered. Troy's very capable, as he showed there. You know, in a lot of ways, you wonder if Augusta is poised for a big run because these guys, oh, great defense by Troy Cracknell. Oh, but even better offense. Golly, the Catawba players are so skilled offensively. But I was going to say that, you know, you wonder if Augusta's poised for a run because Troy Cracknell, Miguel Arnold, Tyree Myers, these guys can score the ball, as we see here with Myers.
Myers from long range. Makes it a 4-point game for only a second. It's back the other way. That's Devin Cooper. It's another field goal, diminutive guard.
The degree of difficulty is so impressive on these made baskets by Catawba.
There's Arnold launching one, and it's good.
So 3 straight threes by Augusta, and they're down 3. You know, you enter the second half down 4. You make 3 straight three-pointers, and you're down 3. That's how good Catawba is on the other end. What a game.
Catawba's lone loss, an overtime loss, 95-90.
Well, and that team that beat them, UNC Pembroke, is as good as they come, as we'll see this season in the Peach Belt Conference.
Foul committed against Myers in the front court.
Yeah, speaking of UNC Pembroke, we're going to go to TV timeout or media timeout, and I'll use it as an opportunity to elaborate on that one loss of the season for Catawba. Opening game, Catawba has UNC Pembroke down 10 points with 2:20 left and turned the ball over 3 times. Pembroke gets 8 points off of those turnovers. Game goes to overtime, and Pembroke wins 95-90. Now, what's noteworthy about that is not just the fact that Pembroke is maybe the most talented team in the Peach Belt and a favorite along with possibly Augusta to be the champion, but it's also a team that Catawba knocked out of the NCAA tournament in the first round last season. So Catawba, you know, and I guess in a span of 3 games spanning 2 seasons, 1 loss to Pembroke, 1 win over Pembroke, and that's a common opponent of ours, so that's why that's not noteworthy. Now, you see Aaron Bird there, and he's looking at the camera. I don't know. I guess he probably doesn't know he's on camera, but Aaron Bird's a senior. He's in graduate school now. He won a scholarship last season from the Peach Belt Conference. He's a 4-year rotation player / starter for Augusta. Just really exemplifies what a student athlete is, and it was great to see him on camera there. I'm going to try to interview him after the game along with Coach Dimitris.
And, of course, the young man you saw with the braids. The Jaguars with possession, a chance to tie it up or take the lead. Montero facing up. Now he'll repost with 4 seconds. He's called for a traveling violation.
Yep.
Constantine pulled the wool out from under his eyes.
Good defense by Malik Constantine. You know, he took away, Raphael's first look is to square up and shoot that mid-range jumper, and he took that away, and then he, like you said, pulled the chair out on him on the move to the basket. There's Constantine for another 3, misses that one.
Crawford with the rebound as he returns to the lineup for the Jaguars, and they're running. Cracknell lines up a 3. Side of the rim, he'll get his own. Throw it off of one of the Indians, and back they come. A gorgeous move by Constantine.
Such an impressive touch shot. You know, he's made a couple long 3s there. He makes just a little floater in the paint. Can't say enough about these Catawba Indians.
6'6", he caught it while running full speed and tossed it up softly. There's the lob to the big guy, pump fake, and the lefty layup is too strong. Crawford. Fans were looking for him to throw it down.
Fans were also looking for the foul on Daquan Lilly on that play.
The iron unkind. Arnold has the big guy, didn't see him. Shot attempt no good, he's in close. Now he'll reverse it. There's another 3 ball. Halfway down it pops out, and back come the Indians with their 5-point advantage. 13:45 left to play, and a gorgeous reverse move counted and a foul.
Devin Cooper, wow. Devin Cooper, transfer from Radford. You mentioned transfers. You know, when you go from Division I to Division II, you don't have to sit out a year. In tough conferences like the Peach Belt Conference and the South Atlantic Conference, you see a lot of Division I transfers doing a lot of work. Here's one here out of Radford. Just so patient, so skilled. Great bucket by Cooper.
Yeah, bringing value to their programs. He had 5 points in the first half. (61-53).
This equals Catawba's largest lead of the game.
They'll clear it out. Go inside out. Shot attempt up no good. Crawford with the rebound. Gathers, turns. Lefty is good.
Very patient of Crawford. Grabs the rebound, doesn't just stick his shoulder down and try to run over the defender. Uses footwork, uses his size to drop that nice little touch jump hook that he has over the defender. He's going to be a good player. He's got his hands full on this end with Lilly, though.
Lilly hasn't looked at the basket in the second half. Trying to get others involved as that off-balance 3 is good. Awkward shooting angle.
Terrence Whitfield, that's his second catch and shoot 3 and 2 tries by my count. Just no weaknesses with Catawba.
There's a 3 ball. Miguel Arnold, he begins to heat up. 3 made threes, now a 4th in this contest. I'll give him 12 on the night. And there's a steal by Arnold. Rejected. Myers thought about a 3, backs it out. Now Arnold, second try is strong. Here comes Lilly, all the way to the well. There's a reach, count it.
Yeah, that's not a good play there. Let's run that back one more time. What you see there after the air ball from Miguel Arnold, Tyshawn Crawford never gets in position to defend his man Lilly here, and Lilly just goes unmolested to the hoop, uncontested to the hoop. So difficult to guard this Catawba team. All 5 guys at one time can hurt you. That leaves everybody on an island. You see Rafael Montero on an island here. Can't really get a lot of help. Does get the help, and there's the result. So it's a predicament Augusta's in. You know, do you help or do you not help? You know, here I think we're going to see the help not come. And then Devin Cooper, well, the help's there, but then Devin Cooper's just patient, lets Rafael Montero clear out, and then goes one-on-one, gets the hoop and the harm. So,
yeah, I was going to say last night at practice, that was one of the things that Dip went through at nauseum was help the helper. You know, there's got to be an opportunity for you to help somebody if you're in more communication.
That's right. So, like on one of those replays we saw where Constantine went down to the right block and threw it to number 12. That's Whitfield in the left corner. You know, if we close out quickly to that, take away that 3, then he drives. He probably gets by his man. Then the next guy has to come help that. And we're not seeing that. We're not seeing, you know, bodies flying around, people helping the helper. His 4th game of the season, it's a lot to ask. You got a veteran crew in Catawba, just an incredibly skilled offensive group. Augusta, if they're not able to solve this riddle, will certainly learn a lot from the experience.
Largest deficit now at 10. Montero. This is a non-conference affair. Preseason poll, Catawba was unranked, even though they advanced to the NCAA tournament. There's Crawford, gathers, and there's a foul in the paint.
Demetrius claps loudly for the first time. Tyshawn Crawford gets a foul call.
Great positioning by the big guy. 7-footer goes up. A lot of ball, but that was make good on a couple of the others from the first half.
I think so. I think so. Tyshawn misses only free throw attempt of the season in an attempt against Claflin, and misses his first one here.
It's an unusual setup. He goes student body right and then student body left before he delivers. In practice, he was knocking it down because I think there was some laps involved. There's a steal.
That's great one-on-one defense by Darren Lucas White.
On the wing, Miguel thought about it. And they'll reset the offense.
I'm a little surprised Miguel Arnold didn't let that shot go from the deep left corner. It would have been a quick one. We see it here. A little catch and shoot there. Decided to pass it up.
Zamonic is guarding him.
we come back to the action.
And there it is, right on time with the slam, jam, bam. That's Mr. Crawford.
We missed that one live. We'll probably get it the next dead ball, but the Jags have cut this lead to 8.
Big defensive possession here. Before the next TV timeout, you want to cut it in half if you can, that lead. And there's another rebound by the big fella. He's made it impact as Montero 2 steps to the rim.
What a great lead pass from Darren Lucas White. I did not expect him to try to thread that needle, and he did it perfectly.
Lucas White.
That'll be 4 on Darren. Right after making a big steal, right after making a big assist, he gets his 4th foul. Unfortunate for him, but you see Demetrius is going to stay with him. Looks like we're going to catch. This is the bucket right before Rafael Montero's. See Tyshawn Crawford just kind of go free. Good pass from Darren Lucas White. So 2 assists in a row on this 4-0 run from Darren Lucas White. Catawba will have the ball side out of bounds with a 6-point lead.
I like the fact that Crawford was able to slip that. They thought he was coming up to set a screen on the high post. He slipped to the basket. And it's hard to slip when you're 7 foot 290.
That's right.
In the post. Good rebound and score. Stick back by Larry McLeod.
Larry McLeod active on that rebound. Kind of outwork Darren Lucas White on that one.
Crawford, aggressive. Now kicks it out. Cracknell.
Got a short clock, 10 seconds. We'll see what Myers can do.
Gets it off to Montero.
Yeah, we're going to have a push.
Montero, like Lilly, unable to get enough shots up in this first half of the second half of the first 10 minutes of the second half.
Well, Catawba's done a good job defending him. He's gotten the ball a couple times in that mid post, and whether it be Lilly or I think more likely Constantine, as we see Montero just what the doctor ordered for Augusta.
I dialed it up and he delivered.
He sure did. Let's see how he gets this bucket here. Yeah, a little quick lob. They run this a lot. Throw it over the outstretched arm. He quickly scores it.
He's got great post moves, doesn't he, Chad?
He's got incredible finishing. You know, he does not jump high at all, but you see on that one he caught it and released it fast. He's got a great touch around the basket. He works tirelessly on it. He puts his body in position. He's a strong player. He works hard in the weight room, puts his body in position. He uses his body, uses his footwork, and he uses you know, timely little touch shots to just score almost at will.
3 ball is good.
Now one is tempted to say, who's that?
That's Burwell. Make that Matthews, rather.
Yeah, Zaquan Matthews out of nowhere with the bucket. Okay, so Zaquan Matthews, I shouldn't shortchange him. He's averaging 10 points per game, made 7 out of 21 three-pointers so far this season. So he's a proven contributor, but you know, it just goes to show how many weapons Catawba has for him to make that shot and me have to scramble to figure out who he is. So many contributors.
Yeah, first action of the ball game for that young man. Crowd kind of quiet, settling in.
No.
And that's an offensive foul, and that's the ball game.
I couldn't help but holler no on that one. I can't imagine that the defender actually got set on this one. As you see, you're going to left to right crossover. That's a tough call. That's 5 on Darren Lucas White. What a tough call.
Get a chance to see it from another angle. Who initiated contact? Lucas White did. And that's why I think the officials rang him up. That's number 5. his evening is done.
Here we have Montero on an island with Daquan Lilly. Let's see if he gets any help. Not really, but he forces it. Montero forced a tough shot there.
Tyshawn Crawford being in the neighborhood didn't hurt anything as well.
That's true.
Now we've got the Twin Towers out there with the freshman and sophomore in the post, the starting center in this game, Flanor, and a 7-footer Crawford in the lineup.
Did he call that on Flanor? I think we have a technical foul here. So while we're showing this replay, we've got Marcel Haskett at the line shooting 2. Technical foul. He made the first. Now he just shot the second one, made the second. I think the foul was on Catawba, and then Dimitris, we see him working the referee right now. Maybe Dimitris got that technical foul. I don't know. You mentioned right before all that the fact that Augusta's going now with 3 post players. With Darren Lucas White out of the game, Coach Dimitris elects to go with 3 post players. Rafael Montero will play the 3, and Lee Flanor knocks down the first of 2 free throws.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of lines of thought there. One is, obviously, we got to rebound the ball better. And then the second thing is we need more interior defense. They're getting a lot of layups against us.
Also, it's, best 5 guys that are playing the best right now, against this Catawba team. Can't afford to come with anything less than that.
For Noor, the acrobatic shot.
Yes.
Couldn't get it to fall, but get some opportunity to make good at the line.
Speaking of best 5 guys, Lee Flanor is earning the minutes, and you see him making something out of nothing there. Just shot 2 free throws, gets an offensive rebound going back to the line. If you think about it, Augusta's played 7 players all game, and again, that's not because Coach Dimitris wants to only play 7 players. I think because of the talent level of Catawba, he feels like he has to only go with 7 players. At this stage, early in the season, I think he feels like he's got 7 guys who are ready for this kind of NCAA tournament style matchup.
Got a timeout on the floor. Comes with 7 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in regulation. Catawba 74, Augusta 66. It'll be 11 days until the Jaguars hit the home floor again. Our next contest on November 30th. That's a Saturday as they play host to Barton in men's basketball action. The women will be in action Saturday, hosting Clark Atlanta. Game time for that one is 1:30.
I'm very excited about that Barton matchup on the 30th. Number 1, because we get to see the Jaguars play. Number 2, because it's going to be followed by 4 incredible high school basketball matchups. For $12, anybody can come in this gym and watch a college game plus 4 high-level high school games. I highly recommend noon, spending some portion of noon until like maybe 9:30. That's what I'll be doing. The whole thing. Nobody else will be crazy enough besides me and you to do that. But I highly recommend people stopping by. $12, can't beat it. 2 days after Thanksgiving. I mean, we're all going to be tired of our family by then, right?
Yeah, pretty much. My family was scheduled to be out of town, but they changed their plans. They found out I wasn't going to be there, so they changed their plans. They're staying close to home.
Now, I hope my family's listening, and I hope they forgive me for what I just said, because that did not come out right. Jack, Daniel, Caroline, I promise I didn't mean that. That was just me kind of rambling on as we see Tyree Myers enter the front court.
So Jaguars are down by 9 with a chance to cut into it, and there it is.
This game is putting Augusta to the test in every way. A lesser team would have folded by now. You're going 7 guys deep against this very good squad that's really clicking today. We'll see if they can continue to make it a game.
That was Miguel Arnold. And defensive stands leads to another opportunity to cut into the deficit, which is just 2 possessions.
That's one thing you hope for if you're Augusta. Maybe they'll stop making these shots. Maybe they'll stop, making the tough ones go in.
Lenore turns and faces, goes off glass. There's Crawford gathering, puts it up, soft. And now the fast break. It's Lilly. He won't miss that one. Golden opportunity for Crawford. He'd love to have that one back again.
Catawba does a good job of, standing their ground against Crawford, making him make tough little touch shots in the paint, and it's harder than it looks.
Now Arnold trying to find Lenore. Pump fakes, goes off glass. There's Crawford. He won't miss that one. He learned quickly.
That combination of Lenore and Crawford down low is going to be a good one for years to come. Next year Montero will move on, unfortunately, and those 2 guys are going to be trouble for big men in the paint as we see Miguel Arnold get a foul on that play.
Yeah, it was a nice reach. He got a lot of ball on that. Crawford looks a little winded. Yeah, that looked like all ball.
So Troy Cracknell checks in for Lee Flanor, who's been outstanding for the Jags. That brings more shooting to the game, a more traditional lineup, 3 perimeter players, 2 inside players. See if Cracknell can join the fun when it comes to making shots from long distance and contribute in that way.
That was Haskett at the line. He's one of the guys you don't want at the line, shooting 89% on the year.
Looks like we have a foul on McLeod there. I guess that would have been off the ball. I definitely didn't see that. That'll be 4 on Larry McLeod.
Got a nice crowd that's filed in here tonight.
I agree. On the first game of the season against a competitor, an opponent that not a lot of people probably know about here in Augusta. Very good crowd. See Troy Cracknell at the foul line, unable to make the first. We missed that on the screen, but Troy missed the first of 2. Now we'll try to make this a 7-point deficit. Cracknell could benefit from seeing the ball go in the basket. He did right at the beginning of the second half.
He shot extremely well at practice yesterday against tough defense.
He's a great shooter. Shot 47% from the 3 last year. Made a bunch of big, important shots and important moments for the Jaguars.
Also showed some defensive skills in that championship run from a year ago. And he gets a rebound there.
So we've seen twice now an open shot missed by Catawba, something it feels like we didn't see for the longest time. You see Myers miss on the other end.
Myers only had 3 shot attempts in the first half. Led the team with 5 assists. A blocking foul against the Jaguars. Montero picking it up.
That'll be 3 on Raphael, so 3 on Montero, 3 on Arnold. Darren Lucas White is already fouled out.
Cooper struggled in the first half, 2 of 9 shooting. He's 0 from 1 from the free throw line. He buried that one to make it a 9-point lead again. It's a 3-possession game near the 4.5-minute mark. Traveling violation against Catawba will give it back to the Jaguars.
$82 points for Catawba with 4 minutes remaining. Such an explosive team. Augusta's going to have to score the ball to win this game. You know, defense will go so far in these last 4 minutes, but you're going to have to make up a lot of ground in a short amount of time. Let's see. I might anticipate. Oh.
Yeah, we're talking about double bonus on both sides on the next foul. There's a missed 3, so golden opportunity for the Jaguars. We're near the 4-minute mark. Myers didn't look at Crawford. Now he's got him. The dribble, dump it off to the big guy. And he steps in. They're going to call him for a charge. Looked like he was in that protective circle. Constantine, let's look at this again.
That's what's so difficult about being Tyshawn Crawford, a big guy. You know, if he puts his shoulder down, he's going to level a guy. It's just so tempting to call a charge. You see he's deep inside that circle.
Coach Beatrice not happy about it at all.
You know, if you're a referee and you see a guy get run over by a 300-pound player, you just can't help but be human and want to call a charge on that. I think that's all you chalk that up to.
Crawford forcing a miss there.
Yeah, Gus has been able to get stops on the past few trips. Let's see if they can convert on the other end.
Montero. Myers, foul line jump shot is good. Took the contact and buried it.
It was an excellent, tough shot by Tyree Myers. That's the kind of thing Augusta's going to need to do to get back in this game.
6'1", 192-pounder, a sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland. And right back at him.
It's Marcel Haskett out of New Mexico Junior College, a turnover.
Tough move there. That was Cooper. So Cooper struggled offensively in the first half, but he's made things work for him late here in the ball game. And there goes Montero. Had not scored in quite some time, but he buried that one. To go over the 20-point mark.
So Lilly will be able to dribble as much as he wants here. It'll be on Tyshawn Crawford to stay in front of him.
Now Crawford has to help, which leaves Lilly wide open. Montero with the rebound and a reach in. Montero will go down the line and shoot 2. This is the guy you want at the line. Because we've got a timeout on the floor. Full timeout called by Dip Mitris. The 156 mark. It's a media timeout nonetheless.
Yeah, that ball. See, Catawba's doing a great job down the stretch here, nursing this big lead and basically just spreading everything out, working the entire shot clock. And so that's how you get that under 4-minute timeout not coming until less than 2 minutes because, you know, no stoppages in play during that time and a lot of milking of the shot clock. You see here Devin Cooper with the tough floater after taking a little contact on the drive. Jags trail by 9 with 1:56 to go. Now you have, as you noted, a guy that you want if you're Augusta, a guy that you want at the foul line being fouled, you know, 94 feet away from the basket after getting a much needed stop. Not a good foul by Catawba puts Montero at the line for 2. So difficult to stop these guys. Yeah, there's the foul. Catawba's doing a great job of playing, you know, disciplined basketball right before that, but
yeah, they didn't need that foul at all. Stops the clock. Gives Augusta a chance to cut into the lead and put their press on. Practicing a 2-2-1 press at practice. Montero. Montero buries a pair, and there's the press. They go over the top. Crawford misses it. Lilly finishes, and a foul.
definitely a good idea by Coach Mitris to switch things up. You know, you got to pressure. You're down 7 with less than 2 minutes to go, and just unable to get the steal. There's Crawford. Tyree Myers doing a good job hustling back. Just made contact on the dunk. What a day for Lilly.
Crawford sits down.
So Augusta runs a play to try to get Miguel Arnold a look, and Tyree Myers is bumped on the baseline. He'll get 2 free throws, chance to cut it to 7 again. We'll see if Augusta, if they make this second free throw, if they go with that 2-2-1 pressure again. They've got Lee Flaneur in the game instead of Crawford, playing that back position.
Second one is an air ball.
Yeah, Tyree short-armed that one, kind of probably tried to aim it in. Such a competitor, you know, he really just wants that ball to go in. You can't force it in, you got to let it go.
There's a turnover. Coach Clint Bryant pulls it in, the athletic director.
Coach Bryant sitting next to Keenan Mann, who's got his one of 4 former Jaguars with his jersey in the rafter. Graduated in 1992. Legendary player here as we see Myers.
Left-handed attempt was no good. Whistle and a foul on the bust out.
See what the ruling is here. I'm not sure. I'm not versed in my yep. 2 shots in the ball for Catawba because Rafael Montero grabbed him there.
Haskett. Makes good on a pair. Intentional foul the call. So 10-point game. 87 seconds remaining. Thank the Augusta University Athletic Department for all their support and help with the broadcast, as well as the group from SUV TV.
Yeah, you know, SUV TV is powering this thing. I'm getting messages from Jaguar faithful, people complimenting the broadcast. Good friends, John Patrick, who was the play-by-play announcer here for so long.
Old friend of mine as well.
Yeah, exactly, and he complimented it, complimented the broadcast, and so did Elizabeth Metris, Dick Metris's daughter, and she's a student, a great student at Georgia, University of Georgia now. So thanks to them for encouraging us. You know, of course, I can't hide the fact that I'm a fan. So you know, when we trail by 10 with 87 seconds left, the mood is not a particularly joyful one, but I am glad that some people are enjoying the broadcast, even if the scoreboard isn't as enjoyable.
Well, as we know, this is a rare occasion, losing at home for the Jaguars.
That's right.
So there'll be more victories than there will be losses here for sure.
Yeah, it's a byproduct of playing a very tough non-conference schedule.
Yeah, and you benefit from this, don't you, as a team? You know, playing tough opponents in the early season before you get to conference season, it toughens the team up and helps you develop some more chemistry and camaraderie amongst the team as well in terms of getting better.
No doubt about it. I mean, you know, look no further than the opponent tonight, Catawba, for an example. You know, playing Pembroke, playing Francis Marion, both away from home before this game. So they've played 2 of the top 3 or 4 teams in the Peach Belt already. So, you know, they're a little more tested early on than Augusta is. But as of tonight, Augusta has certainly been tested, and it should bode well for them, to your point, when they play Benedict a week from today on the road and Barton at home 11 days from now.
There's a 3. No good. As the Jaguars. Fans are pouring defense. Final 60 seconds. Beautiful drive and a kick. Long range 3 with the shot clock at 6. Follow-up dunk attempt, no good. Layup is up and knocked down. Putting that one home was number 3. That's McLeod. The high flyer, and back the other way is Arnold, launching. So on ring night, with members of the 2018 and 19 Peach Belt Conference Championship team in attendance, the Jaguars will fall to the South Atlantic Conference defending champions from 18-19, Catawba. Could be the final possession for the Jaguars as a layup is put up and down by Myers. And that's the ball game. Your final score, the Jaguars falling to Catawba 94, officially 94-82. So as Chad said, the Jaguars will be on the road in the next few days, and then they'll return home on the 30th of the month as they will host Barton. Game time for that one will be 12 p.m. So make your plans in 2 weeks to join us. We'll be back on the air right here on SUV TV and the YouTube channel for Augusta University. So we're bringing you exclusive coverage of the women as they're in action. The home schedule this coming Saturday as they host Clark Atlanta. Game time for that one is 1:30, so we look forward to having you back with us then. We're not done yet. Chad will try to grab one of the coaches and a player, if possible, to get their post-game thoughts. And we'll have some statistics for you as well. That is our hope and prayer. And again, we thank y'all for tuning in. All the Jaguar Nation, not only in the Augusta area, but also around the globe. We want you to encourage the Jaguars, let them know that we are here for you with each and every home game. I'm excited for that opportunity. The cheerleaders posing for a group picture as the fans begin to file out. A lot of alum from Jaguar Nation made their way in for this one. And Catawba brought a good following down as well. We touched on the Clark Atlanta contest. Again, the ladies fell the last time out as they took on Queens. Last Saturday, so they've had a week off. Alec Green has them ready to go, and I'm sure they'll be excited about getting back in action as we get ready to face a team from the SIAC in Clark, Atlanta. Now let's send it down to Chad Cook with a special guest.
Okay, I'm here with Aaron Bird. Aaron graduated last year after 4 years playing big minutes for the Jaguars. Aaron, update us on what you're doing right now, graduate school, scholarship, and what it feels like to be home.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm going to hold back on the scholarship and the graduate. I'm actually working at a museum right now.
Oh, neat.
But I'm actually going to get into officiating, like repping basketball. Neat. So I'm really excited about that. But it feels good to be back. I mean, I was talking to the guys at practice yesterday. It was fun. The vibes were good, and it was just good to get a banner, see the banner up there, and get a ring today.
Oh yeah, show everybody your ring.
It's nice.
Aaron was such a huge part of the team these last 4 years. Talk about 4 years of basketball with Tyvez Monroe, Dean Williams, 2 more seniors who are honored tonight. The bond that you form with those guys playing for Augusta.
It's almost indescribable. I mean, being with them every day on and off the court, talking to each other like, look, what do I need to do to help us get better? Making sure that we stay accountable with one another. I just talked to Dean a couple days ago. He's playing pro.
Yes.
So I just told him I was like real happy for him and everything. Tyvez is doing great too. He's finishing up school, but I love those guys. We got a lifetime brotherhood. So.
What do you think the team is going to learn from tonight? I think that Catawba team is an excellent.
Where the rest of the guys? I want to get a picture of y'all. They're in the back. I'll be back this soon. They're in the back in the locker room. I want to get a picture of you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, the last year. Okay, cool. I'll be waiting for you. Yeah.
He'll be done in 1 second. So, that's all right. That's all right. Hey, that's all right. But I thought that Catawba team was excellent. Tell me what you think our guys will take from tonight.
Definitely. I mean, that's the championship winning team. Communication, chemistry, leadership, playing hard and playing together. I think Augusta will be fine.
Okay.
It's a great test. I think if Coach Dip said to me yesterday that they won the conference tournament last year beating Queens, and that's the team who beat us. So sometimes we never want to lose, but losses are good, and I think they'll be fine. They have fortitude.
It seems like, defensively, they're so hard to guard individually. You think there's anything, is it kind of like, could we have done a better job, or were they just going to make those shots tonight?
Some of the shots, yes, they're going to make, but I think with our guys, we just have to communicate a little better. Sometimes the communication can be off. You switch off on another player you're not supposed to, and it causes mismatches. But I think if the communication is the hardest thing to do on defense, and if you don't do it, then you lose. But I think they'll be fine. Just communicating, and that'll be the best option.
Let me see that ring one more time.
Yeah, for sure.
That thing is sharp.
It's nice.
That thing is sharp.
Definitely worth all the hard work.
That's what you get when you're a champion.
Yeah. I love it.
Congratulations. Great to see you. I know a lot of people want your time, so go hang out with your friends. Great to see you, man.
Cool.
Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Chad. Appreciate that. As Chad Cook visiting with one of the champions from the 2018-19 season, and a guy that was an instrumental part of their success. Well, that's all we have for you tonight. We want to thank again the Augusta University Athletic Department, led by Clint Bryant, their athletic director, Dip Mitras, and the entire players and coaches who made tonight possible. Congratulations goes out to Catawba as they were victorious by 12 in tonight's contest. That's all we have for you, and we'll join you again this coming Saturday, beginning at 1:30 as the women head to the floor of the Christenberry Fieldhouse Arena as they'll take on Clark Atlanta. Until then, good night, and God bless everyone.